Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
We got it! We got it!
New 52 booklet.
Somebody clip this.
Welcome to Comics League. I am Jared, and today I'm continuing my wonderful series of the problems with. Apparently, this is working. So, you know what? I'll just go with that. So, I did Lois Lane, and I did Steve Trevor. I wanted to do another character, but then it dawned on me. Why don't I do the problems with the DCAU / TimmVerse? Because I complain about it on my shows a lot. So I'm like, screw it. I'll do it. So first off, I just want to remind you guys to like, comment, subscribe, because that really helps the channel out. And consider becoming a member because you get these videos a day early. So my first problem with the DCAU comes down to questionable story decisions. And there's no better example of this than Batcest, because it is the stupidest thing in the world. For those of you that don't know, what happened was, so Batman in Batman Beyond, they wanted to explain why Nightwing never showed up, because they had like Barbara Gordon show up and obviously Bruce Wayne show up. So where's Nightwing? And they even had Tim Drake. So they wanted to explain a falling out that that Grayson had with Bruce. So it turns out. It turns out that at some point, Richard went to Europe or somewhere. Like he was traveling. While he was doing that, Barbara slept with Bruce Wayne and had his kid. I think they had a miscarriage. But yeah, and that's canon. And I'm like, and here's the problem with that. That's a Bruce Timm thing, because he has indicated that he is very much like that he ships those two, because he thinks there's always some type of attraction between the two. And I'm like, no, there is not. Barbara to Batman, maybe, but he would not reciprocate. Absolutely not, because he knows what that's going to do to the team. And because it's icky. So I'm like, no, that doesn't work, dude. Make her older if you're going to do that. At least make her age her up so she's Bruce's age. It just doesn't work with the dynamic they have. So that was one of the major questionable story decisions. Second off is Wonder Bat. Here's the problem with it. And this gets into, I'll talk about this in part 2, but I'll brush on it now. He changed Wonder Woman to make her more of a Batman love interest. It doesn't, when you have to change the characters that already exist to make your story work, you probably have a crappy story. That's what I'm just going to tell you that right there. Actually, you know what? Let's go to number 2, a fundamental misunderstanding of characters other than Batman and Superman and Green Lantern. I'll give you that. Because here's what happens with Wonder Woman. And they have been very open about this, that they consider her a one-note character. Here's the problem. So instead of learning the character, because they obviously didn't, because she's not a one-note character, instead of taking the time to learn the character, they just made their own version of Wonder Woman, who's significantly more aggressive, who's significantly less peaceful.
I try to take a day off, try to have a semblance of a normal life, but you had to pick today to rob a bank. Oh yeah, like that's going to work.
Wait, please! I've learned my lesson. I promise!
No, you haven't.
What is this?
Who is fawning over Batman every 5 seconds like the rebellious teenager, even though canonically she's actually 18, which that gets back to this weird obsession that Bruce Timm has with pairing Bruce Wayne with very, very, very younger girls. It's a little creepy at this point.
Batman doesn't do ships.
it's a trend now. And I'm like, what is with you, dude? So second off, barely any Wonder Woman villains show up at all. It just turns into the fact that that's just Wonder Woman in name only. So this is why I push back when people say this is the definitive versions of these characters. For Batman, maybe, even though Batman would not sleep with his partner's girlfriend / ally's daughter. He would not do that. Any version of Batman would not do that. And he turned Wonder Woman into the stereotypical teenager / cheerleader that's always going after the bad boy. And when I see this, as a fan of Wonder Woman, I'm like, what the heck is this? It makes zero sense in the show. The only consolation is they have Batman say multiple times no to Wonder Woman.
1. Dating within the team always leads to disaster. 2. You're a princess from a society of immortal warriors. I'm a rich kid with issues. Lots of issues.
That's the only consolation, but besides that, it's really dumb. Like when they kiss and then Wonder Woman goes, sorry, and he goes, don't be. She's 18, bro. And you're like 40. It's creepy, dude. It's really, really creepy. Fourth is actually an interesting point made by Dave the Impaler. So thank you, dude. Lack of legacy. And this goes into kind of another problem, but I'm going to call it that. So the other problem with the show is that when they threw in Easter eggs, they did so without considering the canon problems with throwing in these Easter eggs. The prime example, and I'll put the visual on the screen, is the Kid Flash suit in the Flash Museum, even though there's no reference to another Flash. There's really is no reference of Teen Titans because the Teen Titans 03 show is not canon to the TimmVerse. And that was here's the interesting part. That was the Wally West Flash costume when he was Kid Flash in the comics. But then Wally is the main Flash in the DCAU. It doesn't work. Or if they have an explanation, they did a really poor job explaining it. That's the thing. That's my problem with a lot of Easter eggs is that in this show is that they throw it in there without considering the canon. Because I get the feeling they're trying to hide these plot holes. So they're like, quick, throw some random Easter eggs at the wall so we can distract people from the fact that that a lot of these characters aren't acting like they should act. And that's the part that really annoys me about Easter eggs, the way Hollywood does it, because they do it in a way to hide a bad plot, or in this case, a good plot. Don't get me wrong. And this is my other point. This universe has some good. This is my concluding point. This universe has great things. The Superman animated series, the Batman animated series, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited. They have some great things. They also have some very, very, very questionable things that forever taint that universe from being considered perfect, at least in my eyes. And again, this is my opinion. You can 100% disagree with me if you want, but that's my opinion on this. Now, to be clear, the good thing about this universe is that there's very little Lois Lane. So I very much like that. So that's where I'm going to leave it. And let me know below what you guys think about what you guys think of my points, because I think they're pretty valid. But if you guys don't, be civil and tell me why I'm wrong, what points I may have not considered, or some other plot holes in the DCAU that I forgot. Go ahead and put them down below. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, because again, you help spread this channel. And if you become a member, which should be right next to the subscribe button, it's to the left of it. You click that and become a member at any tier, you get these videos a day early. So in other words, these normally go out on Wednesdays. They'll go out on Tuesdays for Tuesday evenings for members. On that note, hope you guys will sign up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.